package of bills together since the end of last year's legislative session. KSL News Time 3:49 now, your Monday trip home from work. We have you covered. Traffic and weather together, brought to you by My Style Checking from Mountain America Credit Union. Ricky, what's going on?
The drive is getting busy, as you can imagine, on southbound I-15 in Salt Lake County, going from 4500 South Murray through Midvale at 72nd South. But from 90th South all the way to Provo, looking at a nice commute with normal KSL travel times. Some westbound delays setting in a little early this afternoon on Bangerter Highway from 1300 West over to 2700 West. Also, some heavy and slow traffic southbound Bangerter from this is probably near Indiana Avenue all the way to 4100 South. Northbound I-15 looks good in Salt Lake County. A little bit of heavy traffic building westbound on the 201, approaching and passing I-215's West Belt. Steve?
Well, we're still looking good on north and southbound 15 this afternoon with normal speeds between downtown Salt Lake City and Brigham. Southbound 89, a little slow there at Comby Road heading to the I-84 ramps, and scattered slowdowns on southbound Foothill Drive between Sunnyside and 17 South. Whipple Service Champions, your cooling, heating, plumbing, drains, and electrical specialists. Whipple that away. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast starts with a 41 today, rain, snow, showers. Tomorrow, breezy, 40, mostly cloudy skies. Mostly sunny and 36 on Wednesday. Another cold day on tap on Thursday, but sunshine with a high of 36. Partly cloudy 41 on Friday. Saturday's 39, mostly cloudy and a little bit breezy out of the north. Partly cloudy 36 on Sunday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now in Salt Lake City, we're at 39 degrees, your 7-day forecast. Brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. We'll check the markets next.
Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
I can't get enough of you, baby. I can't get enough of you, baby. Yes, it's true. Baby, yes, it's true. Whenever we kiss, I get a feeling like this. I get a wishing that there were two of you.
Boy, right after the holidays, everyone needs a little cash, right?
Oh, yes.
We have great news for you. Right now, UCCU, Utah Community Credit Union, will pay you for your auto loan and credit balances. So all you have to do is just transfer your auto loan or your credit card balance to UCCU. And on top of giving you a low interest rate, which will save you money, UCCU will give you 1% cash back up to $250 on every loan you transfer.
Amanda, as soon as I heard about this, I said, I'm in this exact situation. I actually had to have 2 loans to get my car a year ago. Yeah. Long story. Got it consolidated into one, and they paid me 1% back for each thing. I've got 1 payment now instead of 2. It's so much easier, and it took me maybe basically an hour. I just went straight to the website. I applied. They said, you got to send me these documents. I did, and all of a sudden, within a couple of days, I had it all set.
This is how easy they are to work with, always looking for ways to help you and your family. You can find out more on the UCCU mobile banking app or just go to uccu.com/transfer. Utah Community Credit Union. You're going to love where you bank.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Hey, this is Dan, the laptop man from PC Laptops. Imagine struggling with a slow, outdated computer that takes forever to load anything, that randomly freezes up and is filled with viruses and malware.
Now picture yourself with a powerful desktop or laptop that runs smoothly and efficiently. making your work and entertainment seamless. Take one home today. The new 2025 S1 desktop or SM3 laptop for only $999. You heard that right, $999. You get a blazing fast processor, 16 gigs of RAM, and over a terabyte of blazing storage for $999. What else do you get? Lifetime service warranty, and we have 12 months special financing on approved credit. Hurry in right now because supplies are limited, because at PC Laptops, we love you. Just check us out at PCLaptops.com. $999, PCLaptops.com.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up, do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at oig.ssa.gov.
We're watching Utah's money at KSL. The Biden administration has signed a bill that raises Social Security benefits for public employees. Retired teachers, police, and firefighters, they're all now going to see a monthly benefit rise by an average $360 a month to the same levels of Social Security benefits as everyone else. Comcast is creating a new advertising platform. It's called Universal Ads. It'll give smaller businesses the ability to buy commercials on streaming platforms like Paramount Plus or Roku. Content creators have filed a lawsuit against Honey. It's a free browser extension that finds coupons for shoppers. The suit accuses Honey of working with retailers to hide some coupons from the public while pushing their own for the very same products. Wall Street mixed market today. The Dow down 25 points. The S&P was up 32 and the Nasdaq soared, gaining 243 points. KSL News Time 3:56 and now Cougar tracks. Here's BYU insider Mitch Harper.
BYU basketball went on the road and suffered a blowout loss over the weekend to nationally ranked Houston. The Cougars in blue lost 86-55 in a wire-to-wire defeat. BYU setback drops them to 1-1 in Big 12 play after the first league road game under head coach Kevin Young.
Obviously, we didn't execute what we wanted to come in here and do. Obviously, give them credit. Large part of that was because of how they played. So, I think the narrative will be, our sloppiness offensively, but I thought our defense was really bad, and it's been good for the last stretch of maybe a month or so. And I think, it made it more of a rock fight than it needed to be because we had a hard time getting out in transition. So, but again, they played well. Give them credit.
BYU turns its attention to Texas Tech tomorrow night in the Marriott Center. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. with pregame beginning at 6 right here on KSL and the KSL News Radio app. With Cougar Tracks, I'm Mitch Harper on your legacy home of the BYU Cougars, KSL News Radio.
And now a minute of kindness brought to you by One Kind Act a Day. Down in Salem, Utah, lives a very talented young soccer player named Aniston. However, her greatest talents aren't in her athletic skills, but her team-centered attitude. During games, she was scoring so much that even her dad told the coach to pull her out so some other kids would get a chance. Instead, Aniston and her coach had a great idea. Aniston would get the ball close to the goal and then pass to a teammate and help them score. She could have kicked it in every time, but instead, she waited for the other kids and helped them have a chance to succeed. The other kids were ecstatic, and 3 of them scored their very first goal ever thanks to her assist. Aniston is a great example of how we can use our talents and turn the spotlight onto someone else with a simple, kind act. Learn more about how you can be part of kindness at thepowerofkind.org. That's thepowerofkind.org.
Join your friends who rely on KSL each morning for the fastest routes to work and school.
I am listening for the traffic.
I'll always know if somebody's going to be late to work.
That's often what's on when I'm driving.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s.
On KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by My Style Checking from Mountain America Credit Union. The latest. Here's Ricky Meese.
Heavy and slow southbound I-15 going from Murray to Midvale. That starts right around 4500 south. Also traffic Getting bogged down and slow westbound on the 201 through the construction. It starts before Redwood over to Bangerter Highway. I-15 in Utah County, all clear both directions between the Point and Provo. Steve?
So far, no issues. Got full speeds on I-15. That's either way between downtown Salt Lake and Brigham City. Northbound Legacy, a little thick there in Bountiful. Southbound 89 slowing as you come down the hill through Uinta to I-84. Plus some scattered slowdowns on southbound Foothill between Sunnyside and 17 South. When you choose Performance Automotive in Bountiful, you're choosing exceptional service from Ford dealers: Performance Ford Lincoln, Performance Honda, Performance Toyota, and Truck Country. See performancebountiful.com. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s. It's going to be mostly cloudy through the rest of the afternoon into this evening. Maybe a light rain or snow shower into tonight. We're expecting 26 degrees by morning. Then tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Your high temperature for Tuesday, 41. But Tuesday night things change. 19 degrees with wind. We're going to be talking about wind chill starting Wednesday morning.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Good afternoon, 4 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Jeff Caplan, 39 degrees. KSL's top story: Utah lawmakers introduced a package of bills today focused on making sure problems at the U.S. border don't result in reduced safety closer to home. We have team coverage. Eye on the Hill. Let's start with KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera. Eric.
Jeff, increasing penalties for illegal immigrants involved in crime was the common theme among the bills, with topics like human trafficking, gangs and organized crime, and repeat offenders. Representative Candace Perucci is sponsoring a criminal penalties bill that asks judges to view asylum seekers or the undocumented as high flight risks when considering bail. Also stops nonprofits from transporting undocumented individuals into Utah, and
making sure that after an individual has served their time and been incarcerated who came here illegally, that they'll be deported rather than being released back into the community.
She's also pushing for emergency funds for more English language learner teachers, citing a 126% increase in non-English speaking students over the past few years. Reporting live, Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
Some lawmakers don't agree with how these bills were roped together. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson is live with more. Our team coverage continues with Heather.
Jeff, House Minority Leader Angela Romero says these bills were presented as ones that address public safety issues and the southern border crisis, which she says implies there's a criminal element to immigration.
My main concern is the stereotypes that are put out there when we talk about this crisis.
For example, Romero says one of the bills increases penalties for driving without a license, but that crime is committed by plenty of American citizens, not just undocumented immigrants. She's not adamantly opposed to all of the bills, though. Romero says she's interested in the bill that aims to protect property rights by involving law enforcement earlier to remove squatters. Reporting live, Heather Peterson, KSL News Radio.
Thanks, Heather. KSL News Time 4:02. Democratic leaders don't want Americans to forget what happened on this date 4 years ago. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, Democrats in Washington are urging Americans to remember when a large mob of Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol.
Democracy is both sacred, its roots are deep, but at times, rare times, but certain times, it can be fragile.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says dozens of police officers were injured 4 years ago. Some died in the days and weeks after the attack. President-elect Donald Trump has pledged to pardon the rioters. It was a much different scene today as lawmakers peacefully certified Donald Trump's win. Crowds at the Carter Center, Atlanta, are paying their respects to former President Jimmy Carter. ABC's Faith Abube is there.
One of the remarkable things was also just seeing cans of peanuts. Of course, we know the former president was a peanut farmer, so people paying their respect in that way as well.
She says people are also leaving messages and photographs to show their love and appreciation. The Biden administration calling Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau a stalwart friend of the U.S. following his resignation today. Speaking to reporters aboard Air Force One, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said the two administrations accomplished a lot together.
We have worked closely together on the full range of issues facing our countries and the world as close allies, neighbors, and as members of the G7.
Trudeau plans to stay on until a new prime minister is elected by Canada's parliament. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
The U.S. now has its first fatal case of bird flu.
Well, bird flu case numbers in the U.S. have been rising. Most of the cases have been mild. Louisiana was the first to report a serious case of bird flu and now is the first to report a death. It was in a person who had been hospitalized with avian flu or bird flu. The person was over the age of 65 and had underlying health issues. That patient got bird flu after being around a backyard flock and wild birds.
So far, there have been no reported human infections here in Utah. Don't be surprised if you see a lot more homes going on the market in the new year. Tina Tambor with the Cromford Report says we've been in a seller's market for a long time. It's not quite a buyer's market yet, with interest rates still keeping some buyers out.
Interest rates did pop back up. It could also just be that some buyers have been waiting so long for these rates to come down, more than 2.5 years, that they're just like, maybe this isn't going to happen.
Redfin says that the three places where prices for homes are going up the quickest: Park City, Draper, and Santaquin here in Utah. KSL News Time 4:05. KSL Sports. 2 Utah college basketball teams have cracked the AP Top 25 today. Utah State's men's basketball team ranked number 25. The Aggies have only lost once all season. They visit San Jose State tomorrow night at 8. The University of Utah women's team comes in at number 22 ahead of Wednesday's game against number 12 Kansas State. That game will start at 7 p.m. A former deputy athletic director at Utah State is suing the school over their denial of his public records request. KSL News Radio's Becky Bruce here.
Jerry Bovee claims he was fired just a few days after he filed a formal complaint against the athletic department's use of an encrypted app, Signal, that deletes messages at the end of the day. He pointed to the app in his lawsuit, asking a judge to override the denial of his request for recordings and transcripts related to a formal grievance he filed after being fired last year.
In a statement, Utah State says many universities use Signal to prevent hacking. The school says USU takes great care to ensure all communications are in adherence to Utah public record laws. KSL News Time 4:06. First look traffic now. Ricky?
Well, between Ogden and Provo, there's only a little bit of slowdowns. It's on the southbound side of I-15 going from Murray into Midvale. But State Street seeing some heavy and slow traffic both directions, and that's between 53rd and about 7200 South. It may be due to an earlier accident reported near 5800 South. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
My Minute's coming up next.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage? Changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Mobil 1 can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP extended life oil filter for only $38.99. Get started on your next job today with the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Febreze.
So my home is also my office, and before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
How good would it feel to start the new year by losing those unwanted pounds? At Salt Lake City Fat Loss, our metabolic reset program can help you finally lose those pounds without all the stress and frustration of trying to figure it out on your own. The secret is our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. Learn how our clients on average lowered their metabolic age by 17 years. Go to slcfatloss.com now to schedule your free consultation and learn why your metabolism may be sabotaging your goals.
I'm Maria Chaleos. Do what I did. Make the call. Lose up to a pound per day. A new you in this new year.
Check it out at slcfatloss.com.
Now is the time to end the cycle of weight gain and frustration without packaged food or injections. You could lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days and have the tools to keep it off long term. You can do the program in person or virtually from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation now at slcfatloss.com. That's slcfatloss.com. Results may vary.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. It's not as popular these days, but a lot of famous broadcasters used to have sign-offs, a signature line, a memorable line they'd say at the end of their show. I worked with one guy who'd end his show with, "Let a smile be your umbrella, but don't get a mouthful of rain." More profound was Walter Cronkite, who'd end the evening news with the same 6 words every night. And that's the way it is.
And that's the way it is. Friday, March 6th, 1981.
He did it every night. Perhaps Salt Lake City's most famous sign-off line came from none other than Skinny Johnny Mitchell on KCPX.
KCPX, Peter Frampton's song, "I'm in You."
Now maybe you're saying, who? Well, if you were a teenager in the 1970s, you were listening to Skinny Johnny Mitchell at night.
London Symphony Orchestra, KCPX, and a theme from Star Wars. That's the 2-time winner and current champion of the KPX Battle of the Records and upcoming.
Car radios were blasting his show as teens were cruising on State Street. Sure, the music would stop for his newsman, Doug Wright.
The Wyoming Highway Patrol said a Salt Lake City man died earlier.
But Skinny would pick it right back up. And at show's end, his sign-off perfectly encapsulated the frivolous 70s. He'd say, "Do what you think is correct, and always remember Skinny loves your neck." Good night, babe.
Emotions.
His sign-off was seared into the minds of many baby boomers. Through the 70s, he played countless hit records and even set a record. Skinny spent 9 days riding a Ferris wheel in Liberty Park, more than 57,000 times around. And last week, Skinny Johnny Mitchell signed off for the last time. He died in Mesquite at age 82, leaving behind 5 grandchildren, and for a generation of baby boomers, a decade's worth of irreplaceable memories.
We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes, brought to you by My Style Checking from Mountain America Credit Union. Here's Ricky Meese.
Slow down southbound I-15, Murray and Midvale all clear. Northbound I-15 from Draper to downtown. Westbound on the 201 also a little crowded and slow as you go just before Redwood Road over to Bangerter Highway. Also seeing some heavy and slow traffic both directions of State Street near 5900 South from an earlier report of a crash in Murray. Michelle?
Looking at delays southbound on SR 36 approaching 1000 North in Tooele. Also, if you're on Mountain View Corridor, Bangerter Highway, delays there in the West Valley area, and then Bangerter continues on as you're headed westbound toward Redwood Road. I-15 in Utah County running at posted speeds right now. Steve?
Well, so far so good. No issues on I-15. That's either way between downtown Salt Lake and Willard Bay State Park. Legacy looking good. Westbound's pretty quiet too, both directions. Southbound 89. A little busy at Harrison Boulevard right there by the Walmart, also as you approach the I-84 ramps. This January, a fairy tale comes to life at the Capitol Theater as Utah Opera presents Hansel and Gretel. Don't miss this enchanting production, perfect for families and opera lovers alike. Steve Carlson, the KSL Traffic Center.
Calling for a high of 41 today, but a lot of locations top in the upper 30s. Light rain, snow showers possible with cloudy skies. Overnight, 26, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy. Into your Tuesday, mostly cloudy skies, high of 40, and breezy out of the north. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
It's 39 degrees, so Kamala Harris presided over her own defeat today. You'll hear what she had to say on Capitol Hill in just a few minutes. Stay with us. We're streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com. We're on the KSL News Radio app. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
I like the way you work it, no diggity. I got to bag it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity. I got to bag it up. She's got class and style.
Well, it's coming up in a few days, and my wife asked me, so what do you want to do for your birthday? And I said, let's rent a private jet. We'll get all our friends, fly to Hawaii. It'll be great. We'll make it a long weekend. We'll have a beachfront party. And she said, what's your second choice? So you know what I said. I want to go to Ruth's Chris. All year long, I say it's magnificent for special events, and I just want to let you know I put my money where my mouth is, and my mouth is going to be in heaven, enjoying a perfectly seasoned, medium-well Ruth's Chris filet. I will gaze into my wife's eyes and just say thank you for the year gone by, for the dinner out, while we share the sweet potato casserole. Now, maybe you'd order the cowboy ribeye steak or sizzling crab cakes. And maybe next year I'll be in Hawaii because they do have a Ruth's Chris in Honolulu. But for us, there's downtown Salt Lake and the Hotel Park City. For my birthday, I love Ruth's Chris. You will too.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pegol is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
KSL News Time 4:15. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
Utah lawmakers are unveiling bills to address local security concerns stemming from the southern border, weeks ahead of the legislative session. I'm KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera.
Second, a driver who pleaded guilty to manslaughter in a case of road rage that killed two people was sentenced today. Peterson Matheson will serve up to 10 years. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
It is a crash-free commute on the Valley freeways at this time, but we do have delays that have set in. The earlier slowdowns northbound on the West Belt from I-80 up to about 2100 north, those have cleared, but southbound I-15 is still bogged down as you're going from Murray into Midvale. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
The warm before the storm, upper 50s today, but snow tomorrow. I'm Kevin Eubank.
39 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Now our top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Attorneys for Donald Trump have filed suit against the Manhattan DA and the judge overseeing the hush money trial, alleging that Judge Merchan is denying Trump's presidential immunity motions. ABC's Catherine Falder says the judge rejected requests to delay this week's sentencing hearing.
What you're seeing here from Donald Trump's legal team is just another tactic, of course, to delay his sentencing scheduled for Friday even further. They're picking apart what Merchan has done and challenging him and now suing him on the grounds, obviously, of saying that Merchan exceeded his jurisdiction when he denied Trump's claim of presidential immunity last week.
In Atlanta, people continue to pay respects to former President Jimmy Carter. His casket lies in repose at the Carter Center before being moved to the nation's capital. ABC's Faith Abube is in Atlanta.
Carter will lie here in repose until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then after that, later in the morning, his body will be flown to the Maryland area and then be brought to the U.S. Capitol, where lawmakers will pay their final respect as well. There'll be a ceremony there at the Capitol. And then, of course, that funeral, that state funeral, is happening at the National Cathedral on Thursday.
Carter was 100 years old. You're listening to ABC News.
And time for the KSL In-Depth today. Congress certified the 2024 election results. As Vice President, Kamala Harris had to supervise and certify her own defeat. Afterwards, she spoke with reporters.
Well, today was obviously a very important day, and it was about what should be the norm and what the American people should be able to take for granted, which is that one of the most important pillars of our democracy is that there will be a peaceful transfer of power. And today, I did what I have done my entire career, which is take seriously the oath that I have taken many times to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, which included today performing my constitutional duties to ensure that the people of America, the voters of America, will have their votes counted, that those votes matter, and that they will determine then the outcome of an election. I do believe very strongly that America's democracy is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. Every single person, their willingness to fight for and respect the importance of our democracy. Otherwise, it is very fragile, and it will not be able to withstand moments of crisis. And today, America's democracy stood.
Kamala Harris, the vice president, after supervising and certifying her own defeat in Congress today. It was much different than 4 years ago today. Everything went according to plan, and with the storm dropping a foot of snow in D.C., there were snowball fights instead of guns firing and tear gas. KSL News Time 4:19 now. Your traffic and weather together brought to you by My Style Checking from Mountain America Credit Union. The latest on the trip, here's Ricky Meese.
We have our usual slowdowns waiting for you on southbound I-15 in Salt Lake County. They start in Murray about 4,500 south, but they ease by the time you're reaching Sandy, and they stay that way all the way to the Utah County line. Also traffic building and a little slow eastbound I-215 south belt as you're trying to get to the I-15 junction in Murray. Westbound on the 201, the construction zone has its usual slowing with heavy traffic. That's about 1,300 west over to Bangerter. More heavy and slow traffic in spots westbound on the 201. That's as you go from 6,400 west into Magna. Michelle?
Mountain View slow southbound between the 201 and 3,500 south. Bangerter Highway also busy between California Avenue headed down into the West Valley area as well. And then again, if you're making your way westbound on Bangerter Highway, you're going to see slowdowns as you're approaching Redwood Road. I-15 in Utah County is still really quiet. Steve?
I-15 is also good to go either way right now between downtown Salt Lake and Willard Bay. I-215's West Belt in good shape, same for Legacy, but southbound 89 busy there at Harrison Boulevard, also approaching the I-84 ramps. And for those on southbound Foothill Drive, got scattered slowdowns at Sunnyside Avenue, also at 17 South. Steve Carlson, the KSL Traffic Center.
Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. Kevin Eubank is here. And did it snow today? I wasn't really sure.
It did. A little bit of light snow here along the Wasatch Front, a little accumulation up on the benches, a couple inches up in the mountains. And this little band of precipitation is actually going to shift into central and southern Utah tonight and continue to create some snowy roads over Highway 89 and I-15 in central Utah, and that light snow will continue in the central and southern part of the state during the day tomorrow. Here along the Wasatch Front, our snowfall will taper off in the next couple of hours, and we do have some gusty winds setting up tonight, Jeff. So the overall flow is going to be very conducive to some strong east winds. Salt Lake, Davis, Weber County, we could see gusts of 50 to 60 miles an hour early tomorrow morning in those prime spots, Bountiful, Farmington, Centerville, Layton area. Temperatures will be cold too, highs in the 30s with lows in the 20s. After tomorrow's partly cloudy and windy day, it's mostly sunny on Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures kind of hover in the 30s, though, all the way into the weekend.
Okay, so I usually go out in the morning and play Frisbee with my dog.
Yeah.
Right? So if we're going to have these heavy winds, am I going to throw the Frisbee and it's going to be 5 blocks away?
Yeah, it could be. It should be windy tomorrow morning where you are. In fact, many of those locations along the Wasatch Front, from Salt Lake all the way up to almost Ogden, will have a very blustery morning. So if you've got garbage day, secure the cans or wait to put them out or do what you got to do because it might be blown all over.
Yeah, batten down the hatches. 39 degrees. Thank you, Kevin. KSL News Time 4:22.
You wouldn't know it, but most financial advisors are put in a box. I'm Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I want to provide you a little insight about financial advisors. Most financial advisors have to sell what their company requires them to sell, and many advisors have to only adhere to what's called a suitability standard. A suitability standard is a limited standard of care, not requiring what's sold to be best, just suitable. Advisors with this loose standard often have limited investment and product selection. Trajan Wealth is held to a fiduciary standard, which is the highest standard of care in the advisory business. And that's just one of the many reasons we have billions of dollars under our care and attract clients from other advisors. Raise your standards today and call Trajan Wealth. Call 801-899-7600. That's 801-899-7600.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
Designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
Windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Ooh, ma.
What was that?
That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
Are you tired of the pain and discomfort caused by those bulky, ill-fitting dentures? Sick of feeling self-conscious when you eat with family and friends? It's time to take charge. Stubbs Dental Implant Center, Utah's best of state winner, is here to give you your freedom back. Say goodbye to dentures and say hello to the All-On-X dental implant procedure, the permanent, life-changing fix that lets you chow down on your favorite foods without a care in the world and flash that confident smile once again. With cutting-edge technology, you can have a brand new permanent smile in as little as 24 hours. Yes, you heard right. Fast forward to finals and let your new smile steal the show. And here's the best part. Your consultation is absolutely free. At Stubbs Dental Implant Center, Utah's #1 dental implant center, they've helped thousands of patients love their smiles again. You could be next. It only takes 60 seconds to start your journey to a happier, healthier smile at StubbsDental.com. That's StubbsDental.com.
My name is Tom.
My name is Cindy.
We give to and volunteer with United Way at our community free health clinic.
We know our time and money are going to the right places.
We don't just wear the shirt.
We live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
We're watching Utah's Money at KSL. Fubo stock skyrocketed more than 250% today. Fubo announced a deal with Disney. Follow along. Disney will merge Hulu plus Live TV with Fubo. Disney will own the biggest piece of the new company. Fubo and Hulu plus Live say they will remain separate services under one banner. The Japanese company that wanted to buy U.S. steel is now suing the federal government. President Biden blocked the $15 billion merger with Nippon Steel. They say the president's decision to block the deal was political and violated due process. Tesla sales were down last year, but another EV company was up. Lucid has announced it delivered a record number of cars last year. Sales were up 71%. Lucid stock gained 2.5% today. And on Wall Street, while the Dow was down 25 points, the S&P was up 32. The Nasdaq gained 243 points.
If you're trying to decide which gutter protection to put on your home, don't just ask how they'll handle leaves. Ask how they'll handle ice. Tim Jr. here from RGS Exteriors, and that's right, ice. See, plenty of gutter guards are good at keeping out leaves, but most are made with flimsy materials that can bend, buckle, and break under the weight of too much ice. Kind of a big problem in an icy state like Utah, right? At RGS Exteriors, our exclusive gutter protection systems are built Utah tough. They're made with premium strength materials that hold up to 1,200 pounds of ice per square foot. Simply put, they're not going to budge. Our gutter guards are also certified to handle hurricane-level winds and rain. Mother Nature can't damage them. Guaranteed. Utah Tough Products. That's the RGS way. For a free estimate, call 801-280-3110 or visit rgsexteriors.com. That's rgsexteriors.com or 801-280-3110.
Join KSL on Friday at Minky Couture in Layton, 1782 Woodland Park Drive from 11 to 1. Minky's got you covered this winter season. The original luxury blanket company, minkycouture.com.
My name is Dale Pazinski. I volunteer with United Way to help the homeless in my community learn computer skills and build a basic resume. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Hi, Grandma. Can Nina come over for dinner?
Sure. I've been meaning to ask you, what would happen if someone offered you a drink?
Grandma!
If anyone ever does, I want you to say, no, I have too much respect for my family and I don't want to get in trouble.
I promise, Grandma.
They really do hear you.
For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. That's underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. This message brought to you by SAMHSA and this station.
All in together now, we can make it better. Can we do it? We rope it up.
Because we know how to jump. Moving and eating better every day can help make you and your kids healthier. Search We Can online to find out more. A message from the Ad Council, HHS, and NIH's We Can program.
The KSL News Radio app will update you on breaking stories.
A house explosion this afternoon.
And you'll get exclusive audio streams from local events, breaking news, and sports.
Cougars feel like they can overcome anything.
All of your favorite KSL hosts are there too, so you can listen anytime. Plus traffic and weather. Download it today. The app for KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by My Style Checking from Mountain America Credit Union. Here's Ricky Meese.
A really slow ride southbound I-15 going from 4500 South Murray to the top of Sandy, and some slowing westbound on the 201 through the construction. This starts before Redwood over to Bangerter Highway. More heavy and slow traffic Mountain View into Magna. Michelle?
Still bogged down if you're on Bangerter Highway. This is in the West Valley area going between California Avenue and past 3500 South at this point. Westbound still slow approaching Redwood Road. And if you're into Utah County, again, we're seeing good speeds there. Steve?
Pretty quiet on I-15 heading north from downtown Salt Lake City. Nothing to slow you down between Salt Lake and South Willard. Got delays though on southbound 89 at Harrison Boulevard, also at Comby Road as you head to I-84. Common Spirit, hospitals, clinics, and caregivers all connected to advanced healthcare in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with human kindness is here. Hello, human kindness. Steve Carlson, the KSL Traffic Center.
I've got some cold, mostly cloudy skies today with a chance for rain and snow. It'll be light precipitation, high of 41. Overnight, 26 with partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, breezy and mostly cloudy with a high of 40. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now in Ogden, 37, 39 degrees in Provo.
You're listening to Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM
and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon, 4:30 at KSL. Jeff Kaplan here. It's 39 degrees. KSL's top story. A man who pleaded guilty in a case of road rage will serve up to 10 years in prison as part of a plea agreement. KSL News Radio's Claire Scott reports.
The courtroom was packed today in Provo as Judge Robert Lund sentenced Peterson Matheson to 2 consecutive 0 to 5-year prison sentences for third-degree manslaughter. Matheson lost control of his pickup truck on SR 73 in Eagle Mountain in June of 2023, slamming into an oncoming Porsche and killing Rodney Salm and Misha Himmelberger. Rodney's brother Peter spoke to KSL TV after the hearing today.
You know, this whole thing has been really draining. I'm kind of happy it's over.
The judge noted that this was another driver that started the road rage, but Matheson escalated it. In court today, Matheson said he would do anything to go back and change what happened. Claire Scott, KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time 4:31. President Biden is in New Orleans, where 14 people died in a New Year's attack. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, the president visiting a makeshift memorial on Bourbon Street and grieving with the families of those killed in the terror attack at a memorial service that's underway. Speaking to reporters aboard Air Force One, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said the administration is helping the city increase security for major events in the coming weeks.
The Mardi Gras parades and certain related events occurring in New Orleans from February 1st to March 4th have been upgraded to a special event assessment rating of 1. The Super Bowl event has also been upgraded to the same assessment rating.
Meantime, the FBI saying the suspect visited the French Quarter twice before executing the attack, videotaping the streets each time. Democratic leaders in Washington, including Chuck Schumer, are urging Americans to remember what happened on this day 4 years ago when a large mob of Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol.
There's lots of people who want us to forget, who want to sweep it under the rug, who want to change the story. We will never forget.
Schumer says the event shows that even American democracy can be fragile. Congress today peacefully certified Donald Trump's win. The first major snowstorm of 2025 slamming millions of Americans and bringing with it frigid temperatures.
From the Midwest all the way to the Deep South, we already have cold weather advisories issued as far south as New Orleans, Mobile, Alabama, all the way down to Orlando, Florida, where it will feel like the 20s and 30s by tomorrow morning.
Snowy weather resulting in the cancellation of more than 2,600 flights. Another 6,800 were delayed. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
Well, it's been smooth sailing so far at Salt Lake City International. 5 flights had to be canceled today to and from Baltimore and from Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and Kansas City, where they've been getting hit by that snow. A multi-million-dollar expansion is underway at Ogden Airport. It's designed to draw additional airlines to the growing transportation hub. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera has the details.
Ogden Airport Director Brian Condi says the 10-month-long terminal expansion project will create a new entrance, expand drop-off and pickup, and bring baggage claim indoors, all for bettering the experience.
And it's a 10-month schedule, so sometime in October of 2025, this year.
When asked if it's a step towards attracting more airline carriers to the table,
they are looking to come to airports that have a professional terminal and professional staff.
Which is exactly what the airport director said they plan to do. Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
People in Atlanta are lining up to pay their respects to former President Jimmy Carter. His casket now lying in repose at the Carter Center before heading to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. Here's ABC's Faith Abube on the scene in Atlanta.
It's just been remarkable just watching people take the moment when they come out of there to stop here to look at the floral tribute. People are leaving messages. They're leaving photographs where they took with the former president or in a situation that's connected to the former president. We've seen messages saying, "Thank you, Jimmy Carter. We love you, Jimmy Carter."
Some people have been leaving cans of peanuts as a tribute to the peanut farmer from Plains. The Bureau of Land Management is investigating the shooting death of 3 wild horses in Beaver County. The agency says the horses were found northwest of Minersville Reservoir. BLM is now offering a $5,000 reward to any information that leads to the arrest and conviction of whoever was responsible. Wildlife officials are urging hunters to switch from lead bullets to non-toxic copper bullets. They announced another bald eagle has died from lead poisoning. Buzz Marthaler is co-founder and chairman of the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center of Northern Utah. He told KSL.com that once a bald eagle consumes the lead, it's hard to save them in time.
You can't realize that they're having a problem initially because they are flying, they're hunting, and then they're slowly getting weaker and weaker, and then they'll end up in a field or something like this and may never be seen.
The center says they see this every year because the birds eat parts of the deer that hunters left behind. KSL News Time, 4:36 now. First look traffic. Ricky Meese, how's the rush?
Well, we haven't really had any crashes on the freeways, and Salt Lake City PD has already cleared a crash at 5th North and 12th West. But we do have delays that are setting in. Spots of heavy and slow traffic scattered. Sandy and Draper on southbound I-15. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Thanks, Ricky. My minute's on the way next. Stay right here.
Les Olson IT is now a Rico Graphic Arts and Production Systems dealer. Rico chose Les Olson because of our reputation for superior service and national recognition. Les Olson IT chose Rico Graphics because they're the best value compared to other commercial-grade printers. Rico excels in high volume, high speed, high resolution, and offers an exciting 5th color. Learn more at lesolson.com.
Les Olson IT.
When you choose Performance Automotive in Bountiful, you're choosing selection, convenience, and exceptional service. 4 locations: Performance Ford Lincoln, Performance Honda, Performance Toyota, and Ford Truck Country. All dedicated to delivering you the best auto experience anywhere. Looking for your first car? Maybe you want rugged power or the stylish ride of your dreams. New or used. See it all at PerformanceBountiful.com. PerformanceBountiful.com.
Attention home buyers, want to save hundreds on your mortgage payment or buy a bigger, nicer home? Visit SaveRight.com. This is Rod with the SaveRight team at Realty Path. SaveRight, our name says it all. SaveRight real estate clients often save $300 to $600 a month on their mortgage. Life of loan savings can be over $300,000. SaveRight clients qualify for and buy bigger, nicer homes. Interest rates are around 7%. SaveRight clients can get fixed rates in the 5s. Our affiliate lender makes it all possible. You can even start with a rate in the 2s. If you're buying or selling a home in Utah, save a ton of money. Hire the Save Right team of realtors. Visit SaveRight.com for more information.
Listen to KSL for news to get exactly what you want.
Stories about what's going to affect me.
Traffic. If I want to know now, I'll go to KSL Radio.
Hear the important stories, the stories that affect you.
On KSL News Radio.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. Scientists have come to the conclusion that you have two ages. Anybody who's ever stood in front of a mirror stressing about crow's feet knows this. You have a chronological age when they sing Happy Birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
But you also have a biological age that basically measures the wear and tear on your body. You might be 50 years old, but you look 40. That's your biological age, measured through DNA testing, which looks at the changes in the length of your telomeres, but I don't want to get into that because there's now an easier way to measure how old you are biologically. Just Google the words face age. There's a website run by Novos that uses AI to measure your face age. All you have to do is smile at the camera on your computer, or you can upload a photo. Their servers will grind away for a minute and then send you an email with your face age. But a word of warning, it does measure your eye age, your eye bags, facial wrinkles, the uniformity of your face, your pores, the level of redness, but the accuracy is questionable. See, I took 3 pictures, each with a different amount of light in the room. Now, I'm 65 years old, and the 3 different tests said I was 51, 58, and 60, proving that AI isn't all that smart and can't make up its mind. And it also proves, apparently, I'm not that old, but really, you can Google the words face age and take the test, or you can recognize you're as old as you feel.
Happy birthday to you.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Okay, traffic and weather together, brought to you by My Style Checking. From Mountain America Credit Union, here's Ricky Meese.
A new crash called out northbound I-15 at 6 South on the off-ramp, and it's over to the right. No emergency crews yet, but if you are exiting off the freeway to come into downtown Salt Lake City, use some caution and keep an eye out for it. Southbound I-15, it's really filling in and slowing down, mostly as you go from Murray all the way through Draper. There are a few spots in Sandy where speeds improve, but it's getting pretty crowded. And then the usual construction slowing westbound on the 201 from just before Redwood to Bangerter, and then more heavy and slow traffic Mountain View to Magna. Michelle?
Mountain View and Bangerter still busy in West Valley, and also still continuing with delays on Bangerter Highway south in the valley. This is westbound as you're approaching Redwood Road. Moving into Utah County, looking good on I-15, but we're slowing down if you're headed westbound on Pioneer Crossing towards Saratoga Springs. Steve?
Got a crash clearing with injuries right now, 12th West and 500 North. Otherwise, I-15 in great shape, a nice easy drive between Salt Lake and Willard Bay. Got delays on southbound southbound 89 at Harrison Boulevard. Also at Comby Road as you head to I-84. Find out more about how your kitchen or bath can be the kitchen or bath of your dreams in just 3 days. Just visit 3daykitchen.com. That's 3daykitchen.com. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
A weak storm today brought some snowfall to our mountains and a little bit of light snow to the valleys and benches. It's sliding into central and southern Utah. That means it'll stop snowing here in the north, but we will get a little wind overnight. Some strong winds develop, especially from Salt Lake, Davis into Weber County. Overnight lows will be in the 20s. Decreasing winds throughout the day on Tuesday with temperatures stuck in the 30s. We'll get some more sunshine Wednesday and Thursday, but it's not going to warm up this week. Highs will stay in the 30s with lows in the 20s. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
39 degrees.
Life can feel hard or overwhelming sometimes, but you don't have to face things alone. Getting help for yourself or someone you're worried about starts with a call or text to 988, where you always have someone to talk to, someone to help you, and somewhere safe to go. 988 Utah is here for anyone experiencing mental health challenges or emotional distress. 988 Utah can even help you navigate how to support your struggling loved ones. Whether you're struggling with anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, trained professionals are ready to listen and provide free, confidential support 24/7. Utah, don't hesitate to call or text 988 for you or someone you care about. The caring staff at 988 Utah can connect you to the right resources. Learn more at 988.utah.gov.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la. Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage? You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Mobil 1 can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP extended life oil filter for only $38.99. Get started on your next job today with the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
My savings are gone.
Okay, where were they last?
Here, right before I spent them on that vacation to Aruba.
Weird. Not weird. Not saving now means no money later. For free ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Thank you for listening. KSL News Time 445. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
Republican legislators unveiled a series of bills today addressing public safety issues and the crisis at the southern border. But one House Democrat says it's stereotyping to tie these public safety issues to immigrants. I'm KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson.
Second, the ski patrol strike on Park City Mountain continues. Workers are asking for a $2 wage hike to compete with nearby resorts. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
We do have a small accident northbound I-15. And this is as you're approaching the 6 South exit. It's actually on the ramp, but they're out of traffic on the right shoulder. Also called out a crash going from Draper to Bluffdale on southbound I-15 near 146 South. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
A little light snow today, but some strong winds develop overnight. I'm Kevin Eubank.
39 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In Minneapolis, the city council approved an agreement with the Justice Department to reform the city's police department. It comes 4 years after the murder of George Floyd. Mayor Jacob Fry said the city is committed to reform and it will take time.
This legally binding agreement will give the city additional tools and the clarity as we continue doing the hard work about building trust and accountability in our communities.
A DOJ investigation found the police department had widespread reports of excessive force and civil rights violations. Congress today held a joint session formalizing the 2024 electoral results from states. It's the final step before President-elect Trump is sworn into office in 2 weeks. McDonald's is the latest company to announce an end to some of its diversity practices or DEI initiatives. It follows the Supreme Court's decision in 2023 banning affirmative action in college admissions. This is ABC News.
And now the KSL In Depth. Investigators say the soldier who died in the Las Vegas Tesla explosion was suffering from PTSD. Joining us live, ABC News correspondent Alex Stone. Alex, ABC News spoke with the former girlfriend. Is that right?
That's right, yeah. And Jeff, based on his writings that were found on his iPhone, it's pretty clear he was suffering from mental health. Family members talk about that they knew that he had been suffering as well. He had sought some help from the military. And now his ex-girlfriend is sitting down with us talking about their time together. And she told us
he was really open about the trauma he faced and the
the teammates he lost. He lost a lot of teammates over the years.
They dated a couple of years ago, and she says just before he left for Las Vegas, out of nowhere last week, he started texting her. They chatted a bit. She thought it was just a, hey, how you been? Long time no talk. He told her about the cool Cybertruck, as he put it, that he was renting. And she says that now she feels like he was reaching out to kind of say goodbye, but she added,
I think he was just reaching out, and I just didn't pick up on it. I don't think he didn't say anything explicit that would have triggered it, I guess. I just wish I had responded differently.
He was married, and his wife told investigators that he had left the house right around Christmas time after claims of cheating in the marriage. So that may have played a role as well. And finally, his ex saying,
throughout his life, the most important thing for him was being there for his teammates, and he gave everything he had to them in the Army.
And Jeff, she tells us she feels like everybody let him down, the military, that she let him down, that society let him down, the mental illness overtook him. And police say this was a case of a decorated soldier who was clearly suffering from PTSD, maybe traumatic brain injury as well, that it was a suicide. It was not terrorism or anything connected to ISIS, but this is the way that he went out.
Given the mental health issues, perhaps related to his service, has the U.S. military said anything about this incident?
Not specifically about this incident, but we know based on his background that he did seek some mental health help over the years. But the military also saying that it cleared him for leave to Colorado Springs to go home and be with his wife and their new baby, that it did not see him as a danger to himself or society. And this is a real issue that brings up mental health of our troops. You could pull that out to our law enforcement and our firefighters and commercial airline pilots. There have been incidents there as well where maybe somebody is afraid to fully explain what is going on, what their mental health status is, for fear of losing their job. And the family has indicated that he did not want to lay it out there for the military. He was in the Special Forces based in Germany, and that letting them know exactly how far it went, that would have meant the end of his job. So this is a recurring theme that has come up over and over again in this case. It ended in this way, and police did not believe it was terrorism. As he put it in one of his writings, he said it was a stunt with fireworks to make people pay attention.
Thanks a lot. ABC News correspondent Alex Stone joining us live, KSL News Time. 4:49, and it's time for traffic and weather together. We're brought to you by My Style Checking from Mountain America Credit Union. Here's Ricky Meese.
It's a delay-free drive on northbound I-15 in Salt Lake County, where we've had an accident just before 6 South over to the right. Fire crews have already left, just one vehicle left on the shoulder. Southbound I-15, delays off and on stretching from 4500 South Murray almost to Bluffdale with an accident near 146 South. Again, out of traffic on the right shoulder. Some heavy and slow traffic westbound on the 201 going from 9th West to Bangor and again Mountain View to Magna. Michelle?
Mountain View still busy southbound between the 201 freeway 3500 Southwest Valley. If you're on Bangor Highway, you're also seeing delays in the West Valley area between California Avenue headed down toward Kearns. And then again, the delays are easing, but you're still seeing some slowdowns westbound as you're headed toward Redwood Road. I-15 in Utah County running at posted speeds. We have some delays, though. This is on Pioneer Crossing, headed towards Saratoga Springs. Steve?
Well, northbound 15 starting to fill in now, slowing at 6 north up to the north 215 interchange. After that, it's wide open all the way to Willard Bay. Looks like some slowdowns on the southbound Highway 89, right there at Harrison Boulevard. Also, as you approach the I-84 ramps from Comby Road through Uinta. Steve Carlson at the KSL Traffic Center.
The KSL 7-day forecast starts off with a little light snow today. A dusting in the valleys, the mountains picked up a couple of inches. This storm will settle into central Utah overnight and continue to bring a little bit of snow through the day on Tuesday. Here along the Wasatch, though, we will see some gusty winds develop overnight and continue on Tuesday. Those winds will be especially strong from North Salt Lake north up to Ogden, where we could have gusts of 40, 50, even 60 miles an hour, especially in that Bountiful, Centerville, Farmington, Kaysville area. Overnight lows stay in the 20s, highs in the 30s. Winds will taper off by Wednesday. We'll see sunny skies to finish out Wednesday, Thursday, but temperatures stay cold, only in the 30s for highs. Our next round of storms looks to come in Saturday, Sunday, not real strong, but a 30% chance of some light snow in the valleys. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
And right now, 39 degrees as we await the, well, I'm not going to call them breezy conditions, the high wind conditions expected along the Wasatch Front in the morning. what did he say, 50-mile-an-hour gusts are possible. Stay with us and check in with Amanda tomorrow morning, starting at 5 a.m. It's 4:52 at KSL News Radio. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. We'll be back.
Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
The shoes on my feet, I buy the clothes I'm wearing, I buy the rock I'm rocking, I buy 'cause I depend on me, I depend on me. All the women independent, throw your hands up at me. All the honeys making money, throw your hands up at me. All the mamas rocking.
This is Derek Overstreet of the New Millennium Group and host of Stop Working and Start Living Radio. If you're close to or in retirement and you don't have a tax plan, call us right now, 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370. Listen, our country's been spending like never before, and the tax bill is coming soon. If you need an income tax strategy and a financial plan that will get you through the rest of your life, give my team a call, 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370. If you want an investment plan that allows you to keep more of your gains and pay less taxes, give us a call, 888-999-6370. My team specializes in the type of plan that will get you retired 3 to 5 years sooner than you thought possible. So, get a no-cost tax analysis by calling 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370. My team is standing by now.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
We're watching Utah's Money at KSL. This huge snowstorm back east has snarled air traffic all over the country. DC's getting up to a foot of snow, and as well as some other areas back east. For what it's worth, if your flight is ever canceled, the law is now that you should be getting a refund, but the airline still doesn't have to cover your food or your lodging. If you shop at Costco, you may want to check your medicine cabinet. The retailers issued a recall for a cold and flu medication because of possible contamination. The recalled remedy is Kirkland Severe Cold and Flu Plus Congestion. NVIDIA stock jumped to a record close today, up more than 4%. The stock driven higher by good earnings news in the tech sector today. And on Wall Street, the Dow was down 25 points. Meantime, the S&P was up 32. The NASDAQ gaining 243 points.
Hey, this is Dan, the laptop man from PC Laptops. Let me tell you an amazing story. Last week, a customer came in. They were a creative director for an agency, and they were frustrated that their old, slow computer wasn't processing their files quick enough. He had a big project due and could not afford any delays. Well, we hooked him up with one of our new, powerful 2025 desktops for only $999, and he was able to complete his project with ease. Take one home today. The new 2025 S1 desktop or SM3 laptop for only $999. You heard that right, $999. You get a blazing fast processor, 16 gigs of RAM, and over a terabyte of blazing storage for $999. What else do you get? Lifetime service warranty, and we have 12 months special financing on approved credit. Hurry in right now because supplies are limited, because at PC Laptops, we love you. Just check us out at PCLaptops.com. $999, PCLaptops.com.
Boy, right after the holidays, everyone needs a little cash, right?
Oh, yes.
We have great news for you. Right now, UCCU, Utah Community Credit Union, will pay you for your auto loan and credit balances. So all you have to do is Just transfer your auto loan or your credit card balance to UCCU, and on top of giving you a low interest rate, which will save you money, UCCU will give you 1% cash back up to $250 on every loan you transfer.
Amanda, as soon as I heard about this, I said, I'm in this exact situation. I transferred. I actually had to have 2 loans to get my car a year ago.
Yeah.
Long story. Got it consolidated into one, and they paid me 1% back for each thing. I've got 1 payment now instead of 2. It's so much easier, and it took me maybe basically an hour. I just went straight to the website. I applied. They said, you got to send me these documents. I did, and all of a sudden, within a couple of days, I had it all set.
This is how easy they are to work with, always looking for ways to help you and your family. You can find out more on the UCCU mobile banking app or just go to uccu.com/transfer. Utah Community Credit Union. You're going to love where you bank.
In 2024, dating is a disaster. We've been ghosted, breadcrumbed, stuck in situationships. Hi, I'm Debbie. I'm Caitlin. Welcome to our new podcast, Dating at Her Age. Dating has been so dicey for us, we asked KSL, can we launch an all-new podcast about it?
People use these dating apps. You're not really dating when you're on the dating app.
Dating at Her Age, brought to you by Mountain Home Services. A new episode drops every Thursday on KSLNewsRadio.com.
Here we go. Traffic and weather together, brought to you by My Style Checking from Mountain America Credit Union. Ricky, what's the latest?
Snow is coming down in Summit County, making for a slick and slushy drive along I-80 near Parley Summit. Now, here in the valley, mostly dry road conditions, but we do have delays southbound I-15 between 4500 South Murray through Draper. Michelle?
Still looking at some slowdowns on Mountain View and Bangerter Highway in the West Valley area. Driving into Utah County, looking good on I-15, slow on Pioneer Crossing. Steve?
Northbound 15, a little busy now from 6 North, rolling into a North Salt Lake. Then it's all clear up to Brigham City. Delays on southbound 89 at Harrison Boulevard. And some scattered slow spots if you're on southbound Foothill between Sunnyside Avenue and 1700 South. Steve Carlson, the KSL Traffic Center.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s. It's going to be mostly cloudy into the night. Sure, you might see the stray snowflake, maybe a little bit of light rain, then 26 degrees by morning for tomorrow. Mostly cloudy and 41 when you wake up. You could be seeing a stiff 50-mile-an-hour wind along the Wasatch Front.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Good evening. This is the 5 o'clock report. 20 minutes of uninterrupted news, commercial free. I'm Jeff Caplan. KSL's top story. 2 weeks and a day before the 2025 legislative session begins, Utah lawmakers say they're already hard at work doing their part to help address security at the southern border. We have 2 reports. Our team coverage, Eye on the Hill, begins with KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera. Eric?
Jeff, Republican members of the Utah legislature gathered at the Capitol today to introduce legislation designed to strengthen penalties for illegal immigrants involved in crimes, from human trafficking to organized crime.
In less than 10 years, Harriman has seen 9 times the number of foreign-born residents, and in just 3 years, the number of new immigration cases has climbed to nearly 13,000 from 752.
That was Representative Candice Pierucci, whose criminal penalties bill would require judges to treat undocumented immigrants and asylum seekers as high flight risks, and mandate the deportation of incarcerated immigrants after they serve their sentences rather than releasing them back into the community. Reporting live, Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
Not all lawmakers are on board with the proposed legislation. Our team coverage continues with KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson. Heather?
Well, Jeff, House Minority Leader Angela Romero says she has a problem with how these bills were presented.
Some of the bills correlated with immigration, but then some of the bills didn't. So I really felt like this could have been like a public safety conversation.
She gave the example of one bill that proposes to increase penalties for driving without a license and impounds their vehicles. Romero says calling that an immigration issue is unfairly stereotyping because American citizens could also drive without a license. However, Romero did acknowledge having an interest in some of the bills, like one that proposes emergency funding for schools that see an increase in English language learners. Reporting live, Heather Peterson, KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time 5:02, a stark contrast in the nation's capital today compared to January 6th 4 years ago. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, 4 years ago, lawmakers faced an angry mob as they gathered to certify the presidential election. Today, Congress peacefully carried out its duty to formalize the election results. Vice President Kamala Harris supervised the vote count.
Was about what should be the norm and what the American people should be able to take for granted, which is that one of the most important pillars of our democracy is that there will be a peaceful transfer of power.
The certification clearing the way for Donald Trump's inauguration on January 20th. People in Atlanta are lined up to pay their respects to former President Jimmy Carter. His casket now lying in repose at the Carter Center. ABC's Faith Abube is there.
People are leaving messages. They're leaving photographs where they took with the former president. And we've seen messages saying, "Thank you, Jimmy Carter. We love you, Jimmy Carter."
The 39th president will be transported to Washington, D.C. tomorrow to lie in state at the Capitol. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announcing today that he plans to step down as the Liberal Party leader.
I truly feel that removing the contention around my own continued leadership is an opportunity to bring the temperature down.
Trudeau says he will step down as Prime Minister after a new leader is selected. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
Back east, a major snowstorm is pummeling 13 states and a few major cities. With its aim at East Coast population centers, it's impacting a massive number of people. Here's ABC News senior meteorologist Melissa Griffin.
More than 50 million Americans from Kentucky to Washington, D.C. remain under winter storm warnings as the first major winter storm of 2025 barrels across the mid-Atlantic. That will continue through this evening. Another batch of snow could impact the Washington, D.C. and Baltimore areas.
In D.C., they're getting a foot of snow and government offices were closed today. So far here at Salt Lake International, a handful of flights have been canceled because of the storms back east, including flights to Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and Baltimore. Another bald eagle has died of lead poisoning in northern Utah. Wildlife experts say it's because eagles eat deer parts left behind by hunters, and they eat the lead from the bullets. State officials want hunters to know it's safer for wildlife if you switch to non-toxic copper bullets. Utah's largest home is on the market, and if you love Disney, you gotta make an offer.
This 70,000 square foot home located in the Cache Valley is devoted to Disneyland, complete with a full replica of the Fun Park's Tiki Room. For a cool $35 million, you can have a 5-story home sitting on 150 acres of land and rooms paying homage to the Swiss Family Robinson and Cars, along with the Star Wars tunnel. You'll also have access to 18 bathrooms and a garage, which can house 16 vehicles. An unfinished barn, which houses an indoor swimming pool, open event space, and another garage. Realtor Carrie Oman tells the Salt Lake Tribune it is perfect for a corporate retreat or a family with deep pockets who can't get enough of Disneyland. Heather Kelly, KSL News Radio.
Wouldn't you like to be going home there? Wherever you're going, we have you covered. First look traffic on the 5 o'clock report. Here's Ricky Meese.
Well, the northbound drive has been filling in and slowing down between downtown and Warm Springs Road. And the traditional slowdowns are awaiting you southbound I-15 from Murray at 4500 south through Draper. But some unexpected snowfall causing a slow drive east and westbound to I-80 in the upper portion of Parley's Canyon, especially around the summit. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Thanks, Ricky. KSL News Time 5:06. KSL Sports Cougar Nation is back tonight after a brief hiatus over the holidays, and we're just in time to break down the BYU football season. Joining me live, BYU insider and co-host of Cougar Nation, Mitch Harper. So, Mitch, how does the 2024 season go down in history?
It's one of the great seasons in BYU's history. 11-2 in a year where BYU was picked to finish 13th out of 16 teams in the Big 12. This is going to be a memorable season that goes among the greats in BYU history.
So tell us more about what's ahead on the show tonight. Usually you take phone calls and comments from listeners about BYU action. Are we, for the most part, shifting to basketball tonight?
We're going to be talking a lot of BYU football to recap the 2024 season. We'll take your phone calls on that. We'll hit on some BYU basketball, too, as they get ready for, the heart of Big 12 play. Tough start, though, for BYU. 1-1 in Big 12 play to open up after that 31-point loss to to Houston, but a lot of football talk to highlight what should be a memorable year in the history of BYU football.
We're looking forward to it. Mitch Harper is going to be coming up. Cougar Nation just after 6 o'clock tonight, right here on KSL News Radio. It's 5:07. Gas prices are up after the holidays.
With global oil prices at the highest level in months, gas prices are coming up as well. Analysts at Gas Buddy say we're probably in for slight increases in the weeks to come. The Energy Department reports the average price of regular unleaded rose 4 cents in the past week to $3.05 a gallon on average nationwide. The cheapest gas is along the Gulf Coast at $2.66 a gallon.
That's ABC's Alex Stone. Here in Utah, we're averaging $3.04 a gallon. This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. It's not as popular these days, but a lot of famous broadcasters used to have sign-offs, a signature line, a memorable line they'd say at the end of their show. I worked with one guy who'd end his show with, "Let a smile be your umbrella, but don't get a mouthful of rain." More profound was Walter Cronkite, who'd end the evening news with the same 6 words every night. And that's the way it is.
And that's the way it is. Friday, March 6th, 1981.
He did it every night. Perhaps Salt Lake City's most famous sign-off line came from none other than Skinny Johnny Mitchell on KCPX.
KCPX, Peter Frampton's song, "I'm in You."
Now maybe you're saying, who? Well, if you were a teenager in the 1970s, you were listening to Skinny Johnny Mitchell at night.
London Symphony Orchestra at KCPX and a theme from Star Wars. That's the 2-time winner, current champion, the KFX Battle of the Records, and upcoming.
Car radios were blasting his show as teens were cruising on State Street. Sure, the music would stop for his newsman, Doug Wright.
The Wyoming Highway Patrol said a Salt Lake City man died earlier.
But Skinny would pick it right back up. And at show's end, his sign-off perfectly encapsulated the frivolous 70s. He'd say, "Do what you think is correct, and always remember Skinny loves your neck." Good night, babe.
Emotions.
His sign-off was seared into the minds of many baby boomers. Through the 70s, he played countless hit records and even set a record. Skinny spent 9 days riding a Ferris wheel in Liberty Park, more than 57,000 times around. And last week, Skinny Johnny Mitchell signed off for the last time. He died in Mesquite at age 82, leaving behind 5 grandchildren, and for a generation of baby boomers, a decade's worth of irreplaceable memories.
We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Your traffic and weather together now, brought to you by My Style Checking from Mountain America Credit Union. Ricky Meese is here.
We do have winter driving conditions along I-80 in the upper portion of Parlalese Canyon, both directions. It's slowing down the drive. Seems to have eased for now, but the road is slick and slushy and snow-covered in spots. Southbound I-15, bogged down and slow from Murray into Bluffdale, where we've had a small accident just before 146 south over to the right. A KSL traffic trooper saying traffic westbound on the 201 completely stopped. I've been trying to look through the cameras to see if we have any problems, but we definitely have a slow drive going from 1300 west, especially to 3200 west. Michelle?
Jammed up southbound Mountain View corridor between the 201 freeway, 3500 Southwest Valley, and then we're looking at some intermittent slowing. This is on Bangerter Highway, right around the 201 freeway, both directions, and then again building as you're headed westbound toward Redwood Road at the south end of the valley. I-15 in Utah County still looking great, but we still see slowdowns on Pioneer Crossing, headed away west from I-15 westbound, headed towards Saratoga Springs. Steve?
And if you're heading out of downtown, northbound 15 got delays there leaving the city up to 2300 North Warm Springs Road. After that, it's an easy drive all the way to Willard Bay. Southbound 89, slow and go from Harrison Boulevard down to I-84. And for those on southbound Foothill, a little slow in spots from Sunnyside Avenue out to 21st South. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
As we head through the 5 o'clock hour, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies with temperatures in the upper 30s along the Wasatch Front. We'll slide into the mid-30s for 6, 7, and 8 o'clock. We'll keep it mostly cloudy, and overnight lows ultimately will dip into the upper 20s. With your hourly forecast on the 5 o'clock report, I'm Kevin Eubank.
39 degrees in Salt Lake City. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:51. You can't see it with the clouds, but the sun is setting behind them right now. 512 at KSL News Radio. Officers in Jefferson County, Missouri had to deal with some monkey business on Friday. Maria Chaleos is here to explain.
Jeff, the sheriff's officer is posting on Facebook that their apprehension of a spider monkey was bananas. The small monkey, clad only in a pink tutu, was able to open a door, slip out of a home where she was staying. A chase began when the primate was spotted at the intersection of two highways in the St. Louis area. Now, the sheriff's office telling the Associated Press the monkey was returned to its caretaker after some careful negotiations and some coaxing. Now, photos posted on social media are hysterical. They show a deputy kneeling on the ground before the tutu-clad monkey, the monkey approaching and then grabbing the man's hands like a little kid. Now, the sheriff's office says it's a great example of how officers they have to be prepared to handle whatever the job throws at them. Now, luckily, they got this little guy before that winter storm hit, because it hit on Saturday. They caught him on Friday afternoon.
Monkeys can go berserk. I mean, it's potentially dangerous, right?
When you look at the pictures, this monkey is just this cutest little thing, grabs the officer's hands.
I feel for the cops, though. Walking
Right?
up to it, you don't know what you're going to get.
It's going to bite my hand off.
I mean, it's right. KSL News Time, 5:13. Ski Patrol strike. The Ski Patrol strike on Park City Mountain is continuing. Workers asking for a $2 wage hike to compete with nearby resorts. Inside Sources co-host Aaron Ryder told us earlier that if you're a guest at the resort, the experience has not been fun.
You have extremely long lift lines. A lot of lifts aren't even open. A lot of terrain isn't open because they don't have the staff for it. And in fact, long enough, we're talking an hour plus maybe for some of these lines, long enough that some people have actually started hiking back up the mountain rather than waiting for the lift line.
That's Aaron Ryder on Inside Sources. Park City Mountain owner Vail Resorts is suffering on Wall Street following the strike. The stock is down over 5% over the past 5 days. The new Miss America has been crowned, and she has a unique tie to Utah. Abby Stockard was crowned last night after her boyfriend's team won their game. Her boyfriend happens to be Utah Jazz center Walker Kessler. She was crowned in Orlando, where the Jazz were playing the Orlando Magic, along with the title Miss Alabama. That's what she was. Got a $50,000 scholarship to help her along with her nursing career. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
a man accused of killing 2 people in a case of road rage in Eagle Mountain will serve up to 10 years in prison after his sentencing today. I'm KSL News Radio's Claire Scott.
Second, the Ogden Airport broke ground today on a multi-million-dollar expansion that they hope will bring in more air carriers and more options for flyers. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
A slow drive northbound I-15 going from 2100 south almost to Warm Springs Road. A snowy drive along I-80 in Parley's Canyon, especially around the summit, and delays westbound on the 201 through the road work. That starts right about 9th West over to 3200 West. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
The light snow in the north is moving south, but some gusty winds develop by morning. I'm Kevin Eubank.
You know, I'm just realizing Walker Kessler is dating Miss America. It's just dawning on me. 39 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Now our top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Richard Cantu. President Biden and the First Lady arrived in New Orleans. They visited a makeshift memorial to the 14 people killed in last week's truck attack in the French Quarter. They'll also meet with families of those killed. Aboard Air Force One, spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre said 2 major upcoming events will be getting additional federal security help.
The Mardi Gras parades and certain related events occurring in New Orleans from February 1st to March 4th. Special event assessment rating of 1. The Super Bowl event has also been upgraded to the same assessment rating.
The FBI released videos showing the suspect appearing to plant explosives.
The FBI says the suspect, 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar, visited New Orleans twice before coming here and executing that attack. The first one was in October, and they say that he was on a bicycle recording himself up and down these streets in the French Quarter using Meta smart glasses that have recording and photo capabilities.
ABC's Christiane Cordero. Quite unlike 4 years ago, there was no mob trying to stop Congress from certifying the results of the November election on Monday.
Pursuant to the Constitution,
Vice President Harris began the proceeding, which lasted just 30 minutes.
Madam President.
In alphabetical order, the electoral votes from each of the states were read aloud. Republicans cheered whenever a Trump-won state was announced. Democrats did the same when electors for Harris were read. The final word came from her.
Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes.
Members of both parties gave Harris a standing ovation. Her formal declaration of the tally tees up Trump's inauguration 2 weeks from today. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
A federal judge in New York City decreed former Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani in contempt of court for not surrendering his possessions to settle a $148 million defamation judgment he owes to 2 Georgia election workers. You're listening to ABC News.
And time for the KSL In-Depth. Imagine finding out the business you work for has closed its doors and they still owe you money. That's the reality for several nail techs in Riverton who say they got the news in a text right before the holidays and they still haven't been paid. KSL investigator Courtney Johns reports.
Yeah, it's been over a month since the nail techs in Riverton at that location in Frenchie's got that message. Here's a look at that text. It ends with the owner saying that the doors will be locked and he's sorry. In another text, an employee says that she was told that she would get her paychecks on the 18th, and when nothing came in, they followed up again asking when they were going to get their money. The women we spoke to say that's really the last time they ever heard from the owner.
I never thought that I'd be in this situation where I'm fighting to get what I'm deserved, you know? And the fact that it's really hard to get your money, even to try to even figure it out. And a lot of us don't have the resources to proceed with more action because we don't have jobs, you know, we don't have the income to support a lawyer or find the resources. So we're just at a standstill of all we can do is reach out to people like you in our community and have people speak up for us, but that's where we're at.
So you just heard from Christina, and this nail company is called Frenchie's, which is a franchise. She says that she reached out to the overall company and they told her there was nothing really that they could do and that it is up to the owner to take care of that. But there is something that a state agency can do to help, and tonight at 6, we're going to take a look at what that agency can do to help.
That's KSL investigator Courtney Johns on the terrible situation for these employees. KSL News Time 5:19 now. Your traffic and weather together brought to you by My Style Checking from Mountain America Credit Union. Ricky, what's going on?
Some leftover slow speeds both directions of I-80 and parts of the upper portion of Parley's Canyon, especially around the summit from the earlier snowfall that came through. Here in the valley, delays continue southbound I-15 from Murray to Bluffdale, westbound on the 201. That's from 9th West to Bangor, and busy traffic southbound I-215's westbelt, I-80 down to the 21st South Freeway. Michelle?
Pretty quiet on I-15 in Utah County. Again, we're still running at posted speeds. I see some sizable delays, though, for drivers making their way westbound on Pioneer Crossing, going away from I-15 headed toward Redwood Road. Now, if you're on Bangor Highway, that is still a rough spot as well. You're seeing slow and go traffic in spots from California Avenue all the way down into the Riverton Bluffdale area. Steve?
And right now, northbound 15, a little bit thick now from Salt Lake City up to about Warm Springs Road heading into Davis County. Then full speeds all the way to Willard Bay. Looks like southbound 89 still pretty packed in spots from Harrison Boulevard as you come down the hill through Uinta to I-84. When you take UTA, you can do just about anything while you ride. You won't even notice all the traffic you're missing. Plan your trip at rideuta.com. Steve Carlson, the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast starts off with a little snow today. The mountains picked up a couple of inches. The valley's just a dusting. That storm will slide into central and southern Utah overnight and into the day on Tuesday, and then taper off by Tuesday night. Here along the Wasatch Front, look for some gusty winds developing overnight out of the east. That could cause some problems for areas of Davis and Weber County, especially near the canyons. Lows will be in the 20s with highs only in the 30s. The winds should subside as we head through the next couple of days. We'll see more sunshine by Wednesday and Thursday, but temperatures struggle. Only in the 30s for the next 7 days with lows in the 20s and a chance for more scattered snowfall moving in for Saturday, Sunday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
And right now, 39 in Salt Lake City. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. We'll check the markets next.
Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, see things you don't understand. I can take myself dancing, and I can hold my own head. Yeah, I can love me better than you can.
This is Derek Miller speaking on business. Since 1953, Layton Construction has been perfecting their craft, growing nationwide and improving the build world by providing predictability in an industry that's anything but predictable. Layton Construction's Vice President of Marketing, Tim Garrick, joins us with more.
For more than 70 years, Layton Construction has proudly called Utah home. The work that we've done in that time will forever impact the state, its people, and the business community. Together with our trusted trade partners, we've built the places where hundreds of thousands of Utahns live, where we work and study, where we play, and where we heal. The same principles that Alan W. Layton instilled in the company in the early years, honesty, safety, quality, and unity, still guide us today. These values have sustained our longevity and have fueled our growth as we become one of the nation's largest builders. And with that comes opportunities for career advancement. So we encourage and offer our employees training to develop their skills so they can grow with the company. In fact, that's one of the primary reasons Utah Business Magazine recognized Layton Construction among the state's best companies to work for in 2024. To learn more, visit laytonconstruction.com.
No matter the location, Layton Construction thrives where precision meets pressure. From active university campuses to data centers that can't afford a millisecond of downtime, Layton is involved with every sector that matters. I'm Derek Miller with the Salt Lake Chamber, speaking on business.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Imagine a currency that has true value, a currency that's local, protects your wealth, and resists inflation. Now imagine that currency is anchored to the stability of gold. Introducing Goldbacks, a currency made of 24-karat gold, accepted at over 800 businesses in Utah. Don't just imagine it. Visit alpinegold.com to start spending in gold. Use promo code RADIO to get free shipping on orders of over $200 or more.
We're watching Utah's money at KSL. The Biden administration has signed a bill that raises Social Security benefits for public employees. Retired teachers, police, and firefighters are going to see their monthly benefits rise by an average of $360 a month to the same levels everybody else enjoys. Comcast is creating a new advertising platform called Universal Ads. It's meant for smaller businesses. It'll give them the ability to buy commercials on streamers like Paramount Plus and Roku. Content creators have filed a lawsuit against Honey. It's a free browser extension that finds coupons for shoppers. The suit accuses Honey of working with retailers to hide some coupons from the public, at the same time pushing their own coupons for the same products. Wall Street today, mixed market. The Dow down 25 points. The S&P, though, was up 32, and the NASDAQ soared, picking up 243 points.
If you're trying to decide which gutter protection to put on your home, don't just ask how they'll handle leaves. Ask how they'll handle ice. Tim Jr. here from RGS Exteriors, and that's right, ice. See, plenty of gutter guards are good at keeping out leaves, but most are made with flimsy materials that can bend, buckle, and break under the weight of too much ice. Kind of a big problem in an icy state like Utah, right? At RGS Exteriors, our exclusive gutter protection systems are built Utah tough. They're made with premium strength materials that hold up to 1,200 pounds of ice per square foot. Simply put, they're not going to budge. Our gutter guards are also certified to handle hurricane-level winds and rain. Mother Nature can't damage them. Guaranteed. Utah Tough Products. That's the RGS way. For a free estimate, call 801-280-3110 or visit rgsexteriors.com. That's rgsexteriors.com or 801-280-3110.
Life can feel hard or overwhelming sometimes, but you don't have to face things alone. Getting help for yourself or someone you're worried about starts with a call or text to 988, where you always have someone to talk to, someone to help you, and somewhere safe to go. 988 Utah is here for anyone experiencing mental health challenges or emotional distress. 988 Utah can even help you navigate how to support your struggling loved ones. Whether you're struggling with anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, trained professionals are ready to listen and provide free, confidential support 24/7. Utah, don't hesitate to call or text 988 for you or someone you care about. The caring staff at 988 Utah can connect you to the right resources. Learn more at 988.utah.gov.
Dave and Dujanovic.
What our listeners need to know is what's going on behind the scenes. We hold weekly meetings on how to do our jobs as talk show hosts, as journalists, better than we did them yesterday.
There's some very conservative voices. There's some very liberal voices. But there is space for both. And we're not at each other's throats. We're not yelling at each other. We're having a discussion.
Listen for Dave and Dujanovic 9 to noon on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by My Style Checking from Mountain America Credit Union. Ricky Meese has the latest from the roads.
Right now I'm looking at a live shot of UDOT snowplows, 4 wide, taking care of the road in Parley's Canyon on I-80, approaching the summit from where the snow has come down and made a mess of the upper portion of Parley's Canyon. We also have a report of a semi-disabled on I-80 eastbound near Lambs Canyon. And in the valley, delays continue southbound I-15, Murray through Draper. Michelle?
I-15 starting to slow down just a little between Pleasant Grove and Linden, and when you're making way southbound. And then Highway 40, we're starting to see winter conditions there as well, affecting both directions between I-80 and Mayflower. Steve?
Looks like northbound 15 starting to clear out. Got some leftover slowdown scattered between Rose Park and North Salt Lake. After that, it's an easy drive all the way up through the rest of Davis, Weber, and Box Elder counties. Southbound Foothill Drive, a little busy between Sunnyside and Foothill Village. Common Spirit, hospitals, clinics, and caregivers, all connected to advanced healthcare in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with human kindness is here. Hello, human kindness. Steve Carlson at the KSL Traffic Center.
Well, a little light snow today. The mountains picked up a couple of inches, and that storm will kind of slide into central Utah, producing some scattered snowfall throughout central and southern areas in the state on Tuesday. Along the Wasatch Front, we'll see some gusty winds develop overnight. Those east winds could be 40 to 50 miles an hour, some gusts stronger, especially up towards Centerville and Farmington. Lows will be in the 20s, highs only in the 30s, partly cloudy and windy on Tuesday. More sunshine moves in for our Wednesday and Thursday, but temperatures stay cold, highs in the 30s with lows in the 20s. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
You're listening to Jeff Caplan's Afternoon News
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM
and 1160 AM.
Good evening, 5:30 at KSL. Jeff Caplan here. We're at 38 degrees. KSL's top story. A deadly case of road rage has resulted in a sentence of up to 10 years in prison for one of the drivers involved. KSL News Radio's Claire Scott has the story.
Peterson Matheson pleaded guilty to manslaughter in November. Prosecutors say he and another driver were engaged in road rage back and forth on SR 73 in Eagle Mountain when Matheson collided into a car coming from the other direction, killing 2 people inside. Before a packed courtroom today, the judge reduced the severity of the charges from 2nd to 3rd degree felonies and sentenced him to 0 to 5 years in prison on each count to be served consecutively.
The judge noted that while the other driver started the road rage encounter, Matheson took more direct action. In court, Matheson told the victims' families he would do anything to change what happened. President Biden is visiting New Orleans to grieve with the families of those killed in last week's terror attack. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, the president this afternoon visiting a makeshift memorial on Bourbon Street and then grieving with the families of those killed in the terror attack at a memorial this hour. Speaking to reporters aboard Air Force One, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said the administration is helping the city increase security ahead of major events in the coming weeks.
Today, the president is committing additional federal resources to help the city of New Orleans prepare
for upcoming major events, including Mardi Gras and the Super Bowl.
An Army veteran drove a truck into revelers in the French Quarter on New Year's, killing 14 and injuring 30 more. Democratic leaders in Washington, including Chuck Schumer, are urging Americans to remember what happened on this day 4 years ago when a large mob of Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol.
There's lots of people who want us to forget, who want to sweep it under the rug, who want to change the story. We will never forget.
One supporter was shot fatally by security as a group tried to break into the House chamber where lawmakers huddled together in fear. Schumer says the event shows that even American democracy can be fragile. Congress today peacefully certified Donald Trump's win. The first major snowstorm of 2025 slamming millions of Americans.
More than 50 million Americans from Kentucky to Washington, D.C. remain under winter storm warnings.
ABC News senior meteorologist Melissa Griffin says more than 13 states are on alert. More than 2,600 flights have been canceled today, another 6,800 delayed. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
Salt Lake City has seen some delayed flights because of the storm back east, but nothing like the big headaches they're seeing in places like Baltimore, D.C., Cincinnati. All told, Salt Lake City's only seen 5 canceled flights today total. Today, Ogden Airport started up. They began their multi-million-dollar expansion project. The hope is they can bring in more airlines and more flights to Weber County. The story from KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera.
Ogden Airport kicked off their terminal expansion project with a groundbreaking ceremony earlier today. Airport Director Brian Condi announced their plans to create a new entrance, expand drop-off and pickup zones, and bring baggage claim indoors, all in the name of a better experience.
And it's been pretty convenient. You can't walk, 100 yards to your gates at most airports, but at Ogden, you can.
When asked if it's part of a bigger play to expand and bring more airline options to Ogden, Condi admitted having a better experience helps.
So that makes us more attractable to the commercial airlines.
The project is set for completion by October. Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time 5:34. Most Utahns support the soon-to-be-built Salt Lake City Entertainment District, and they support the new Salt Lake City sales tax. Of course, most Utahns don't live in Salt Lake City. KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla reports.
63% of Utah adults support the upgrade to the Sports and Entertainment District. A poll from the Deseret News and the Hinckley Institute found that a big chunk of that support is coming from Utah and Davis County, with 66 and 70% of residents respectively. The 0.5% sales tax only applies to the project area. It's about 100 acres around 500 West and West Temple, and South Temple to 200 South.
The sales tax is expected to generate $900 million for the development of the district. People in Atlanta have been lining up to pay their respects to former President Jimmy Carter. ABC's Faith Abube is there.
It's just been remarkable just watching people take the moment when they come out of there to stop here to look at the floral tribute. People are leaving messages. They're leaving photographs where they took with the former president or in a situation that's connected to the former president. We've seen messages saying, "Thank you, Jimmy Carter. We love you, Jimmy Carter."
The former president's body will be moved to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. He will lie in state at the U.S. Capitol. KSL News Time 5:36. It's time for First Look Traffic. Ricky, what's going on?
We've had a couple of different crashes off and on northbound I-15 between 1300 South and the 6 South exit, and that's why we have traffic really bogged down back to 33rd South on the northbound drive. And then a crash also reported, likely due to the weather, on I-80 in Summit County. Now, this is on the westbound side prior to Parley Summit, and it has been affecting traffic in the right lanes. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Thanks, Ricky. My Minute of News on the way next. Stay right here.
You bought a house, or maybe you're building one, but it just isn't feeling like home. Not yet. AMC Building Materials has this undeniable knack for transforming a house into a home, your home. How do they do that? They combine years of exceptional kitchen and bath creations with your ideas. In fact, customer satisfaction is their #1 priority. You know what you want. You know it's not going to be cookie cutter, and this is exactly where AMC shines. AMC delivers exceptional quality, bold-style kitchen and bath designs, along with their exceptional value and a timeline you'll love. Most projects are complete by the elite AMC professional installers in under 10 days. Immerse yourself in the beauty, function, and feel in person at the AMC Building Materials Showroom in Salt Lake City. Get directions and schedule your free estimate at amckitchenslc.org. AMC Building Materials, transforming your house into a home. amckitchenslc.org.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage? You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Mobil 1 can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP extended life oil filter for only $38.99. Get started on your next job today with the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side, your Sleep Number setting. And now it's our lowest price of the season on our top-selling i8 smart bed. Your best savings, plus free home delivery with an adjustable base. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. Scientists have come to the conclusion that you have 2 ages. Anybody who's ever stood in front of a mirror stressing about crow's feet knows this. You have a chronological age when they sing Happy Birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
But you also have a biological age that basically measures the wear and tear on your body. You might be 50 years old, but you look 40. That's your biological age, measured through DNA testing, which looks at the changes in the length of your telomeres, but I don't want to get into that because there's now an easier way to measure how old you are biologically. Just Google the words face age. There's a website run by Novos that uses AI to measure your face age. All you have to do is smile at the camera on your computer, or you can upload a photo. Their servers will grind away for a minute and then send you an email with your face age. But a word of warning, it does measure your eye age, your eye bags, facial wrinkles, the uniformity of your face, your pores, the level of redness, but the accuracy is questionable. See, I took 3 pictures, each with a different amount of light in the room. Now, I'm 65 years old, and the 3 different tests said I was 51, 58, and 60, proving that AI isn't all that smart and can't make up its mind. And it also proves, apparently, I'm not that old, but really, you can Google the words face age and take the test, or you can recognize you're as old as you feel.
Happy birthday to you.
Jeff Caplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by My Style Checking. From Mountain America Credit Union, here's Ricky Meese.
Plows have been out in Parley's Canyon where the snow came down, really brought the drive to a crawl. And we have an accident on the westbound side of I-80, not far from the summit. It's been affecting right lanes of traffic, and you will see backups. Not quite to Kimball Junction. Here in the valley, delays northbound I-15. We have a crash just before 6 South. We've had slow and go and heavy and slow traffic back to South Salt Lake. And delays continue southbound I-15 from Murray through Draper. Mark? Michelle?
We're looking at slowdowns southbound I-15 from Pleasant Grove into the Linden area, affecting both directions. Now, if you're trying to use Highway 40 over on the Wasatch back, we're seeing the winter conditions setting in there as well. This is going both directions between I-80 and the Mayflower area. And for drivers that are over on Bangerter Highway, still looking at some slowdowns in West Valley. Steve?
And we're back to full speeds up and down I-15 tonight, crash-free between Salt Lake and the Brigham City Logan exit. If you're headed up Sardine Canyon, got some wet roads, a little bit of snow falling up there. Delays on southbound Highway 89 through Uinta, heading down the hill there to I-84. And Foothill Drive, a little slow southbound from Macara Way to Foothill Village. Advanced Window Products, factory direct, affordable windows. Call today, they're on their way. Financing available, save now, pay later. AdvancedWindows.com. Steve Carlson, the KSL Traffic Center.
A weak storm today brought some snowfall to our mountains and a little bit of light snow to the valleys and benches. It's sliding into central and southern Utah. That means it'll stop snowing here in the north, but we will get a little wind overnight. Some strong winds develop, especially from Salt Lake, Davis into Weber County. Overnight lows will be in the 20s. Decreasing winds throughout the day on Tuesday with temperatures stuck in the 30s. We'll get some more sunshine Wednesday and Thursday, but it's not going to warm up this week. Highs will stay in the 30s with lows in the 20s. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
37 degrees in Salt Lake City. Justice today in a road rage case. Was it too little, too much, or just right? Greg Skordas is going to join us in just a few minutes. Stay with us. We're streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com. It's Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
I'm so happy, 'cause today I found my friends ahead. I'm so ugly, that's okay, 'cause so are you. Broke arms, someday woman, 'cause every day for all I care.
You know when you accidentally click something that lets hackers into your computer? There's no pop-up that says, you've been hacked, ha-ha. Oftentimes, they just quietly noodle away in the background, steal your identity, and you only find out when the damage is done. Life online shouldn't be so stressful, but the answer is McAfee Total Protection. It's easy to install, like a warm, cozy blanket that helps keep the bad guys away. It allows you to live your life online worry-free. No more fear of identity theft or hackers or texting scams. Get some peace. All you have to do is visit McAfee.com/online protection right now. Get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 for your first year. Go to McAfee.com/online protection, and a safe, secure, worry-free online life is yours. Just $39.99 for the first year. Cancel anytime. Terms apply. McAfee Total Protection.
Are you frustrated because you can't seem to lose that unwanted weight or keep it off long term? It may not be your fault. Your metabolism might be sabotaging your results. We found that clients on average had a metabolic age 27 years older than their actual age. If that's you, how much harder would it be to lose or maintain your weight? At Salt Lake City Fat Loss, our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. To learn how our clients on average lowered their metabolic age by 17 years, go to slcfatloss.com now to schedule your free consultation.
I'm Maria Chaleos. Do what I did. Lose up to a pound per day. A new you in this new year. Check it out at slcfatloss.com.
Now is the time to end the cycle of weight gain and frustration. You could lose 20 to 30 pounds in 60 days and be empowered with the proven tools to keep it off once and for all. You can do the program in person or virtually from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation now at slcfatloss.com. That's slcfatloss.com. Results may vary.
You know that feeling? The weather starts getting colder, so you go down to check out the furnace and you look around and think, what am I even looking at? Because you don't know how these things work with all the lights and wires and pipey things. And then you think, I bet those technicians at Whipple went to school for this. Shouldn't they be here looking at my furnace? Whipple that away. Knowing what to look for on your furnace tune-up is my job. Make your problem my problem. Whipple Service Champions.
Visit whipplethataway.com for our current special offers.
KSL News Time, 5:45. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
Ogden Airport is embarking on a multi-million-dollar terminal expansion aimed at enticing more airlines to expand their operations at the hub. I'm KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera.
Second, the Bureau of Land Management is investigating the shooting death of 3 wild horses in Beaver County. They're offering a $5,000 reward. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
Getting reports of a possible 4-car crash in Midvale, southbound I-15 after 7200 south, blocking an inside lane of travel. And delays continue northbound I-15 from about 3900 south to downtown with an accident over to the right shoulder just before 6 south. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Decreasing light snow here along the Wasatch Front, but some gusty winds will develop overnight. I'm Kevin Eubank.
37 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Now our top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Richard Cantu. 4 years after George Floyd was murdered while in custody of Minneapolis police, the city council there approved a federal consent decree to overhaul police training and use of force policies. Mayor Jacob Fry.
This legally binding agreement will give the city additional tools and the clarity as we continue doing the hard work about building trust and accountability in our communities.
The agreement means the Minneapolis police will be under long-term court supervision. Honolulu police report that a 3-year-old boy injured in a home fireworks show New Year's Eve died on Monday, the fourth person to succumb to injuries from the massive explosion. The U.S. military flew 6 victims to Arizona for treatment. The burn unit on Oahu doesn't have enough capacity to treat the injured. The government's national average price for regular gasoline rose 4 cents in the past week. It is now just under $3.05 a gallon. This is ABC News.
And now the in-depth on KSL, a man who pleaded guilty for his role in a deadly Eagle Mountain road rage crash will face up to 10 years in prison. He was sentenced today, and joining me live, KSL legal analyst Greg Skordas. So, Greg, thanks for joining us. This comes after Peterson Matheson took a plea deal. How many years would he likely face if he didn't plead guilty?
Well, had he gone to trial, he was facing 1 to 15 years on each of those counts. So he did accept a lesser charge, 0 to 5. But the judge ran them, as you said a minute ago, Jeff, consecutively. That is, one after the other. On a homicide case, especially now with the road rage incidents that we're having a lot in this state, you could expect that he might do as much as half of that time, half of the 10 years that he could possibly face.
Okay, so you mentioned, well, first of all, let's talk about the case itself. There was a road rage incident between 2 cars. One of the cars went and veered into oncoming traffic, smashed into an innocent Porsche. 2 people were killed inside. Do I have that right?
Yeah, you do. And that's what's really unusual, Jeff, because usually these road rage incidents are between the perpetrator and the victim. In this case, the perpetrator was not, the victim was not part of the road rage, wasn't even part of the individual's anger. They just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. They were as innocent as they could possibly be. And I think that played a lot into the judge's decision and the prosecutor's decision to prosecute the case the way they did and to sentence him the way they did to consecutive 0 to 5 year prison terms.
I'm not familiar with, I don't think I've ever heard of a 0 to 5 year prison term. Who decides if it's 0 or if it's 5?
Yeah, that's a funny thing we do in Utah, Jeff. We have indeterminate sentences. So a 3rd degree felony, our lowest level, carries 0 to 5 years in prison, or up to 5 years, I should say. But the Board of Pardons decides, not a judge, not a jury. The Board of Pardons ultimately decides how much time a person will serve. And we have guidelines. So on a 0 to 5, maybe you serve 20 months, 24 months. On a homicide case, maybe more. And then consecutively, the Board of Pardons can add, again, an additional period of time because the judge ran them consecutively so that the person could theoretically serve more than 5 years.
Greg, we changed the penalties for road rage since this incident happened in 2023. Had this happened now, what would the penalty be?
It'd probably be a little more serious, but I think that the state took that into account. I think the judge did too. I think this was one of those cases that could have been up to a 1 to 15, like we said earlier, which would have been a significantly greater penalty. And again, that's one of those indeterminate terms that we use for 2nd degree felonies, 1 to 15 years in prison, which again is something that the Board of Pardons decides how much a person will actually serve.
Thanks a lot. We appreciate it. Our KSL legal analyst, Greg Skordas. 5:50 now. Let's get to traffic and weather together, brought to you by My Style Checking from Mountain America Credit Union. So, Ricky, what's going on?
Right now, I'm looking at a live shot of a new accident, northbound I-15, 3300 south, blocking the center and right lanes of traffic. Even after that, there's more slowing with an accident approaching 6 south. Southbound I-15, we had a crash called out in Midvale near 7200 south, maybe just after that. Haven't found it yet. We're going to keep looking, but we do have delays between 53rd and Bangerter Highway, and slowdowns continue due to snowfall along I-80 in the upper portion of Parley's Canyon. Michelle?
The conditions on Highway 40 are getting worse near Jordanelle Reservoir. You're going to see slowdowns both directions between just south of Mayflower at this point, headed up to I-80. The worst of it is southbound. Now, if you're making your way on Utah County, we're seeing a little bit of slowing on I-15 in spots between American Fork and Linden. The bigger delays, though, are westbound Pioneer Crossing going away from I-15 toward Redwood Road. Steve?
Nice, easy drive tonight if you're traveling northbound 15. Got full speeds out of downtown Salt Lake City. Crash-free all the way up to Willard Bay State Park. Same for the southbound side. Back the other way. Got delays on southbound Highway 89 still lingering through Uinta down the hill there to I-84. And southbound Foothill Drive still a bit thick from Okara Way to Foothill Village. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
The KSL 7-day forecast starts off with a little light snow today. That will slide into central and southern Utah on Tuesday. Here along the Wasatch, we'll pick up some strong winds out of the east. That could create blustery conditions, anywhere from 30 to 40 mile an hour winds. Gusts could be 50 and 60, especially Farmington, Davis County area, which are always prone to those easterly winds. Mostly sunny skies pop out on Wednesday and Thursday, highs in the 30s, lows in the 20s. We'll keep it in that range all the way into the weekend, but reintroduce a chance for some light snowfall on Saturday and Sunday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
Batten down the hatches. We have stiff winds coming overnight. It's 37 degrees. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
Jeff Caplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
You got a smile so bright. You know you could have been a candle. I'm holding you so tight. You know you could have been a handle. Well, you could have been anything that you wanted to, and I can tell the way you do the things you do, the way you do, oh baby, the way you do the things you do.
Where can you kick off the new year with big savings on gig speed? Only with Xfinity. Now through January 16th, get gig internet at home for $25 a month for 1 year when you add an unlimited mobile line, which connects you with gig speed Wi-Fi on the road. Act fast today and save more than $650 over AT&T and Verizon in your first year. Plus, hurry and take advantage because right now you can also get a free 5G phone with trade-in. So save big and stay connected to what you love with fast gig speed internet and mobile from home to hotspots. This new year, it's all about gig speeds and big savings. Don't wait and get gig speed internet, spend less green, and switch to Xfinity. Go to xfinity.com/gig savings to learn more. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account restrictions apply. Equipment taxes and fees extra. $40 internet discount applied to mobile bill after promo. Regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Savings compared to Verizon Fiber Gig Plus 1 unlimited welcome line and AT&T Fiber Gig Plus 1 unlimited starter line. Xfinity internet required reduced speeds after 30 gigabytes of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual speeds vary.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 801-899-7600.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Imagine a currency that has true value. A currency that's local, protects your wealth, and resists inflation. Now imagine that currency is anchored to the stability of gold. Introducing Goldbacks, a currency made of 24-karat gold, accepted at over 800 businesses in Utah. Don't just imagine it. Visit alpinegold.com to start spending in gold. Use promo code RADIO to get free shipping on orders of over $200 or more.
We're watching Utah's money at KSL. Fubo stocks skyrocketed more than 250% today. Fubo announced a big deal with Disney. Follow along. Disney is going to merge Hulu Plus Live TV with Fubo. Disney will own the biggest piece of the new company. Fubo and Hulu Plus Live say they're going to remain separate services. On Wall Street today, it was a mixed market. The Dow down 25 points. It closed at 42,706. Meantime, the S&P was up 32 points, and led by the tech sector, the Nasdaq soared up 243 points. KSL News Time, 5:56. Time for Cougar Tracks. Here's BYU insider Mitch Harper.
BYU basketball went on the road and suffered a blowout loss over the weekend to nationally ranked Houston. The Cougars in blue lost 86-55 in a wire-to-wire defeat. BYU setback drops them to 1-1 in Big 12 play after for the first league road game under head coach Kevin Young.
Obviously, we didn't execute what we wanted to come in here and do. Obviously, give them credit. Large part of that was because of how they played. So, I think the narrative will be, our sloppiness offensively, but I thought our defense was really bad, and it's been good for the last stretch of maybe a month or so, and I think, it made it more of a rock fight than it needed to be because we had a hard time getting out in transition. So, but again, they played well, give them credit.
BYU turns its attention to Texas Tech tomorrow night in the Marriott Center. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. with pregame beginning at 6 right here on KSL and the KSL News Radio app. With Cougar Tracks, I'm Mitch Harper on your legacy home of the BYU Cougars, KSL News Radio.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds. At highway speeds, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop texts, stopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The KSL News Radio app will update you on breaking stories.
A house explosion this afternoon.
And you'll get exclusive audio streams from local events, breaking news, and sports.
Cougars feel like they can overcome anything.
All of your favorite KSL hosts are there too, so you can listen anytime. Plus traffic and weather. Download it today. The app for KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by My Style Checking. From Mountain America Credit Union, Ricky Meese has the latest.
Right lanes blocked with an accident northbound I-15 at 33rd South. Backing traffic pretty solid to 45th. Delays continue southbound I-15 Murray to Bluffdale. Michelle?
Still looking at some slowdown southbound I-15 between American Fork and Linden. Now Highway 40, that's really messy. This is going between I-80 and the Mayflower area. Steve?
And we still have some heavy traffic on northbound 15 between downtown Salt Lake City at about 6 north. Then it clears out. You got full speeds after that up through Davis, Weber, and Box Elder counties. Lingering slowdowns on southbound Highway 89 in Uinta down the hill there to I-84. And it looks like the West Side Belt has cleared. Same for Legacy. Steve Carlson from the KSL Traffic Center.
We bring you traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the nines. And tonight, we're headed down to 27 degrees. But you can expect strong wind when you wake up. Gusts might clock in at 50 miles an hour plus along the Wasatch Front. Afterwards, things die down, and tomorrow, a little bit of sunshine. We're looking at a high of 39 degrees for Tuesday.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Good evening, 6 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Jeff Caplan. KSL's top local story this hour. A host of Utah lawmakers gathered today to present a package of bills that tackle public safety and immigration. But some state lawmakers don't agree with how these bills were roped together.
House Minority Leader Angela Romero says these bills were presented as ones that address public safety